See how this 2026 Season 2 looks. Work left to right, I guess. This is one of the easier courses in Season 1. To see if they kept it that way or flipped it. I will be keeping an eye on chat too if anybody wants to see anything specific. This hole's almost identical to what it was. Alright. So pretty similar. T used to be a little bit to the right of this, so it was more of a straight down shot, but I don't think that's going to matter too much here. We're going to be too concerned with scores, or so just figuring it out. Okay, this one used to play from back here, so they moved us to the side, meaning now this green slopes right to left. Really the only change, and we got pretty good elevation. Hop off the fringe there. So this one you used to play over to this grass over here. Probably still could if you wanted to, but it looks like now you just play up the fairway. A little more natural. So this one now plays pretty straightforward. You don't really need to worry about that kind of like grassy patch that we had before. Yeah, let's be aggressive here. So far, difficulty-wise, it's about what it was, but it's only hole 4. Lots can change. Okay, this one's playing a little. No, it's about the same. So this is a little easier. You used to have to go over this temple thing, pyramid thing. Now it's just a straight shot, flat, nothing to it. This looks exactly the same as before. Oh, not quite. So the looks like the tee box has just moved right a little bit, but in terms of how you'd play it, looks identical. Um, with that wind and that pin, I'm just gonna lay up to this little spot of the fairway. Sometimes you play over to that rough patch on the right there, elevated rough, but I want the spin here, and I don't mind the wind. Almost too hard. Okay, no harm, no foul. What this one was before. It's off to the side. I honestly can't remember. Anyway, from here, we're just going to play it right. Let it spin back, hopefully. Haven't seen who else has posted about these today yet. I assume Paul Taylor has done a video. If you want to see someone who's good at this game play it, and how you actually should play these shots, I would recommend his channel very highly. Like watching bad golf. You're in the right spot. Okay, this one now I think is drivable, or at least we're gonna see. Definitely drivable. Not the best shot in the world. See if we can salvage a putt. Number nine, KR tee box used to be back way back to the right, and we used to play up to this dirt patch up here, past where I can get to now. So it looks like I can either, looks like with Cosmos and an outwind, I can just play past everything, but it looks like there's also a play. It's probably a play where you could just drop it up on these pyramids if you had to. Like, if there was a wind against us and we couldn't get around this corner, that might be the play. I think here, it's just hit it hard and play it pretty normally. Far so good. Surgeon, play him in invites quite often. He takes my money. Okay, this one is now downhill shots. I think it used to be more off to the right, so you can see where that kind of like this little shaded area over here. This is where the tee box used to be. So it's fundamentally the same hole, just different angle. It's just a matter of getting the right distance, which I don't think I did. Lucky. All right. So far, so good. I'm very interested to see what they did with holes 15 through 18. Those were the tough ones before, especially 17. So I'm hoping that they've had mercy on us. Okay, this is downhill par three. Wish I had my 4 iron in this bag. So I used to need the 7 wood on this course, so I took the 4 iron out, or the 7 driver, I mean. Might put that back in, depending if we end up needing the 7 degree anymore, which we'll find out in a little bit. Wow, thought that'd spin back. Snuck it in the side. Okay, this hole looks like it's mostly the same. Like, so the tee box is forward and left of where it used to be, but it used to pretty much always be play to this little spot, and I think it still is. Just looking to see if I can get over this on top of this last pyramid, and I don't think I can. So I think it's just still play it the same way we used to. Manage the crosswind. A little hard. Stop, stop, stop. Okay. So far it's not drastically different, but I liked this course before, so I'm not too upset about that really. This hole's very similar. So again, tee box used to be just right of where we are here. It's still the same thing. It's still just decide on the right distance and hit it. Not a chance. Some points at least. So this is interesting. So now we've got a tree. Now we got tree trouble that they've introduced here. Um, something we can't work around. It's just got us move our tee left, and then I think we're gonna have to probably cut something back with this wind. It is flat. Long is better than short, so we're gonna go with the 5 iron here. Just a baby cut back against the wind. Too much on that one. There we go. Yeah, so definitely could have gotten away with the 7 iron there. Um, way too much club. So now the name of the game is don't compound our errors. Just make sure it only costs us 1 stroke. Or a good hole out. So saved it there. Moved into first place in the contest. I'm sure this is a silver contest. I don't think the score would be leading a gold contest. Very similar here. Made this one a little bit easier. Used to be back and left of where we are, so you had more of this like temple structure to deal with. Can hit something pretty straight now. I think 4 wood will be high enough. I don't want to use a high T because I want the spin. So let's see what this does. Plenty high enough. Not terrible. A little safe. Saved it with a putt. Okay. Now we get to see interesting things, hopefully. Oh yeah. Okay. So this one, there was a play. This was used to be dead straight. So you used to be able to play something and run it up this little path and just stop it there. It's gonna be a lot harder to do now that it's not straight. Let's see. Definitely can't get over the water. Not with an outwind we can. Not with this wind. I'm guessing everything over there is heavy rough. See if we can land it on this. 1 in a million shot. Nope. So that's pretty much dead. Now we're gonna start bleeding strokes if we don't get this figured out. All right. So we've made a mess of this one. Um, I don't. I'm gonna try it because it doesn't matter in this round, but I don't know if this is gonna hold. Off the deep grass, you get no spin. So the concern here is that it'll just roll off the back. Not bad. Okay. So par there. I mean, I guess technically that's probably still golden tee par on that hole would be an eagle, but boy, it's hard to see an eagle on that setup for me. So I feel like I lost one stroke there from what I should have done. Should have just laid up for the birdie, probably. Okay, this one used to be a side sloping green, so this is considerably easier now that we don't have to worry about crazy bounces, but it's still a lot of wind and a lot of elevation to sort through. How this goes. Not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. So just a little harder on that one. It's pretty similar to what it was before. We just moved it to the right. So being straight, it's a little angled. Not really going to change the way you play it. Just going to aim it right. Some wind. Okay. Should be able to make this chip. All right. It's 28. I guess 30 was par, but I think 29 I would have been pretty happy with. So that one mistake. Not terrible. So all in all, I think this is still a pretty easy course. First playthrough. Having 17 um, not slope to the side anymore is worth a stroke to me. So I think this is going to play easier on average than it used to. All right, Alaska was tricky before. It's scoreable, but it's tricky. It used to demand a lot of cuts, just a lot of wind. So let's see what they've changed. This looks the same. So this one we're just basically trying to get close for a chip. Might actually be drivable. Let's see. Yeah, so you can get there now. kind of funny when I was playing in the tournament in where were we in Dallas in December. Um, my opponent and I accidentally got into I guess it was like a test game with these tees, and we played through like hole six before we've kind of figured out that they were different, and we probably shouldn't have been in there, so we had to start that game over. So I've got a little bit of an idea what these are, not that I remember. So we've got an offset here, of course we do. So I'm gonna work with the wind. Just hit a little 3 wood with bite, push it left. Not a very good shot. Pretty simple shot. It could have been a lot better. All right, this one. So before it was you'd either play to this island here or you'd play back here. Either one was fine. Looks like those are still options. Thinking with outwind, now you could clear that if you wanted to. You could clear that probably with an outwind if you wanted to. I think I'm just gonna go for this island if I can. The island's only issue you ever have is, well, if you miss it, but even if you get on it, if you're too close to the that grass in front, sometimes that can be a problem, but it shouldn't be. It's not gonna be an issue here. Okay, 6 wood doesn't go as far as you think ever, so we're just gonna push this left. Crummy one. And that was still not enough. Wow, didn't get the putt there. That's unusual. So that's a pretty bad drop stroke there. Really no excuse for that. Bad approach, bad putt. This one used to play super short, so it was kind of awkward when you'd have like a wedge with a hard wind. This one looks pretty straightforward. Now I'm just gonna try and land on that front right edge of the green. Not bad. This one costs me a lot of strokes. Season one. It's tricky to get the right distance and hold that green. I don't think it's like any harder or easier from here than it was from back left where it was before. Still the same idea. So we'll just hit a kind of reasonable, a 110-ish maybe, three wood. A little hard. I crushed that way too much. All right, so bleeding strokes already in Alaska. 3 over through five. 3 over Golden Tee par. When you hear us talk about Golden Tee par, basically what that means is if you can get to a hole and make so it's the minimal amount of strokes to possibly get to a hole plus one putt. So pretty much every par five is, par is an eagle. It doesn't mean it's easy to do. There's certainly Golden Tee pars that are hard to achieve, but if anyone can do it, then it's par for everyone. That makes sense. Um, I think the play is still the same on this one. You play out this way and you try to get in this grass, from which point it's a straight shot in. This plays as grass, which is fairway. So it's kind of sometimes these little grass patches are hidden and you find them. then you can kind of play there as if it were fairway. So with this wind, I wasn't able to get it as far left as I'd want, so this shot's way longer than I wanted it to be. But we can still get there. Just not going to be as controlled as we would have liked. Okay, number 7. So this one used to be over here, I think, or was it? Sometimes it's so hard to orient yourself to where you were before. But it used to be off to one of the sides for sure. Um, so this is my least favorite kind of hole. These super short, super windy ones. Some guys will carry like they call it a chipper wedge. So there's like a ways to hit it shorter, but these are harder than long holes, even though it seems like it'd be easy. Um, it's just these wedges take so much wind. That is pretty good for me. A hole like that, the goal for me is really just get a putt. This one looks almost identical to what it was before. So the play, at least on this setup, is still going to be the same. You're just going to play to this corner and then play across. Guess you could, I mean, theoretically, you could play something up there, like with a big cut. I don't know. What the hell? Let's try it. We're already 3 over. You can get there. I don't know that it's worth it. So if you watch some of the elite players like Paul Taylor on his channel and others, they have these chips down to where they expect to make these. So let's see. Wow. So once in a while I can get them too, but certainly don't expect to from that distance. Okay, this one used to play up from back here. So depending on the wind, you'd go around the trees one way or the other. Still seems like the same idea. With this wind, it's going to make it a little easier because we can just start at a little left of this tree. The wind will bring it back. Like I should have hit 5 wood there. That wasn't bad. 3 over on the front, so well, 2 over because I got that chip. So that counted back in my favor. So this one used to play longer to the right, from the right. So you used to either want to, you'd almost always play over here, but sometimes with an outwind you could get across. Now it looks like we're almost always going to be able to get across. All right. So it's just a matter of getting the wind correct. So we used to play from over here to the left. So it was a straight downhill green, which was challenging. Now we've got side sloping green, which is fine. Problem is our wind is going the same direction. So it's gonna, when this lands, it's gonna want to really go right hard. So I need to make sure it lands left of the pin for sure. Now, this one used to play up from back here. So you would play it up. There was a play through, but it was pretty tough. So usually you just play up to this corner and then hit a second shot that was often challenging just because of the wind. Now we can go for this green. So par now becomes eagle on this hole. We were talking about par earlier. I'm gonna go high tee. May not need it, but I'd rather make sure I clear this, and then I just have to play for a lot of wind. Ooh, get in there. Nope. Take tap in eagles though. Okay. So this one used to play from over here, and it was actually a drivable par five. So par on this hole used to be double eagle or albatross, because you're expected to hit that green and then make your putt. That's not going to be the case anymore. Now it's going to play as an eagle par, two shots and a putt. Pretty straightforward. It looks like just don't do anything stupid. I should have taken a little bit more time and thought about that. I should have straightened out that wind. Made this shot a lot harder than it needed to be, but still doable. With the wind, it's gonna land with a lot of spin, so I'm a little worried about bite, but it is downhill. So we need to land this in that left little cutout of the green if we can. Stay on there. Okay, that's fine. Okay, got the bad backswing there. Sometimes on those click chips, if you're not super careful, the trackball will read a like side pullback, and then it'll kind of put it'll put a spin basically on the chip as if it were like a full shot. So that was me not taking enough time on the chip to make sure I got a good pullback, and then it went way offline. So all I'm trying to do here is just figure out what the wind is going to do. It's going to push it a little right. The green's going to take it a little left. Go with a low T, no spin. See how we could do for distance. Not terrible. A little harder. This hole still looks pretty much the same. It actually might be the same. Ugh. It sure looks like the same tee box. Maybe it used to be a little bit further back and left. Usually before we would have a better look going around left to right. Now it looks like it's going to be more right to left, typically. This one's just a matter of getting the wind correct. I'm going to go high T because I want this knot to spin a lot when it lands, and then just hope for the best. Push wind, push. Not too bad. That's one arm just looking for a putt. So 3 over through 15, including that missed chip I just had 2 holes ago. This hole looks like it plays the same as before. So it's just, you just have to lay up to this first fairway, and then the second shot's very hard, but just is what it is. So long hole. It's always got a lot of wind. This green is small and slopey. So again, this is when we're just looking for a putt. Sit. Chip off of the bridge. So it only cost us one, at least since we didn't go in the water. But we should have eagled that hole. This one used to play from the opposite side, so the green sloped the other way, and it was a little longer before. So now we've got to, wind's pushing the ball hard left to right. Ball's going to want to go left when it lands off the green. So I'm actually going to hit this with release. Hopefully land it in the fat part of the green, and then it'll maybe roll forward and push left. See. So hit that a little hard, I think, and didn't give the wind enough credit. It's 18. 18 used to be a bear for me. I never could figure out this cut, and it's still here, so I get more time to figure it out. But now looks like we've got an option to go both ways. We either go left, used to have to go left or right. Now it looks like they've moved the tee enough to where we could go right to left if we wanted to. This wind, I don't know. I don't think I like that with this wind pushing the other way. So let's try. I don't know. Suck at this shot. But set too hard. Right idea though. Right behind a tree. So that's great. I'm trying to go right of this tree trunk. This might be a horrible idea. Not terrible. Okay, so 3 over 25 on that one. On balance, at least that setup, I feel like it's slightly easier. I think par is the same as it was before because we lost a par five. We lost the drivable par five. We gained a drivable par four. We gained two actually. So par actually is one better because now one you can get to more easily. Hawkeye, season one Hawkeye was kind of a, I thought it was kind of the middle of the road difficulty. out of five. I thought it was the third most difficult or third easiest, the way you want to look at it. It's probably my favorite though. I think it's an interesting course. All right, this one is gonna be drivable now with some wins. Let's try it. So you gotta hit big. Um, it's called A1, which is where you pull it way back to the A and then push it forward to the one. Gets more distance than a straight shot. So you can see that was definitely there. I didn't execute it. Make our chip though, and nobody will know. Interesting. Okay, so this one, the tee box used to be in the left section of the where I am here. See, it was back left, so you could go just around that tree to the left. Now, what you do? It may still be the same shot, just more curve. Wondering, wondering if there's a way to just go through that gap, but it feels awfully close. So let's just try this. So we're gonna click it one right or one left. And out. So still clip the tree. So I got to do some work to figure out what this shot is. Um, but okay, stop. So that's one you should. It will be an eagle par once I figure out the shot off the tee. Just needs to spend some more time with it. Okay, this one's very straightforward. This is one you're thinking about making. It's a little uphill, so I'm going to give it a little bit more than just thumbs. Give it a backswing too. Okay, didn't quite hit it straight. Definitely one you're thinking about making though. That wind, easy. This one you used to always play right here, and then you'd hit something over those trees onto the green. Now we're either going to play up the fairway. I don't know if I really enjoy that look. Or we're just gonna blast it up into this rough and take our chances from there. That's what I'm gonna try. Only thing we have to worry about here is some weird out of bounds, but no, it's fine. So pretty happy with that play. I think that shot's gonna always, or at least on that look, it was definitely easier than what we were gonna have from the fairway coming up that hill. Okay, this is one that we used to play from the left. Wasn't drivable before. Isn't, I don't think it's drivable now. There might be like a skip shot or something. Somebody will figure out, but I'm actually going to play it back a little bit because I want to approach with a little bit longer club. Okay, I like this. So I'm be aggressive with this one. I'm gonna push it left, hit it hard, hopefully let the backspin push it back into the right. Yeah, too aggressive. Keep making these chips though. Nobody's ever gonna know how bad I am off the tee. The play has always been to this little section of plays as grass fairway over there. Um, think it still is. It's just harder now because it's a lot longer. It's definitely not up the left, so it's got to still be this. It's gonna be a little bit harder. Do it with a driver. Used to do it with a 3 wood. Stop, stop. Nope, that's not gonna be good. And it gave me the crappy drop over here. Actually, I swear this used to be heavy rough because that's why we never played it over here before. But now this might be the play off the tee because this is not a bad shot. Hmm. I will definitely be playing it here off the tee next time. Right, this one was before. I think it was up there. I think it was like straight down that hill. This is pretty straightforward though. Just get the right distance. Not bad. This one used to be a really tough hole for a lot of people. I had a shot I liked pretty well in this one. You used to have to kind of bend it under these trees. Um, Now we don't have any trees to worry about, so it's a lot easier. But I could see how this is going to be tricky with some winds. Got a heavy crosswind, the narrow green, so I was a little conservative. I could have put some spin on that. Just a little worried about it doing too much coming off the front. This one looks identical to before. It's just moved a little left, but the play is still the same. It's get as far down this fairway as you can and try to be lined up with that little cutout. Pretty forgiving though, as long as you don't get too close to that corn. That was didn't go anywhere. Hmm. So ourselves 2 strokes on that one. That was a pretty poor front. Not because it was hard, because I just played poorly. But there's still time for hole outs. This one's just playing the opposite. It used to play up this left from behind the left fairway. Now it's up the right fairway. Still nothing to it. Pretty boring hole. I guess because they had to do something with this, they gave it a tiered green. So your only challenge is just making sure you don't end up on the bottom tier or top tier or vice versa from where the pin is. I'm not going to be aggressive with this. This is one where you just kind of take your birdie and move on, unless there's a crazy wind and you can get close enough for a chip. Sometimes you can do that on the old tees. So I think it's the same story as last hole. Just moved it to the other side. So the old tees from the back on the left where they were, you just would always hit it into this corn because the corn is actually not really there. It's like a bug. So you could just play it out of there normally. That might still be the play, but I'm concerned about it being too long of a shot now, the second shot. And I know that this is fine if I can just stay in this fairway. So I'm just going to kind of play it safe. I'll figure out eventually if that corn is still a play. Did it again. Man, get a little cut on it. That takes the distance off. And missed the chip again. I don't even know how many we're over at this point. It's like six, seven. This hole looks pretty much the same as it did before. I don't know if it changed really at all. Pretty friendly wind setup. Still can be a bear for me. This one's easier now too. At least I think so. It used to be over here, so the barn used to be on your left side. Um, and with this brought this water and play a lot with the green sloping that way. It's still in play if you get real aggressive with backspin or something, but less so. So I think might as well be fairly aggressive with this one. Not setting any score records, that's for sure. Four more holes. Okay. So used to play from way back here, and you'd hit it through these barns. It was pretty decently easy shot. Um, Now we're gonna go around the trees this way. Might be able to go over the trees. Probably not. So we're gonna go around the trees this way. Do a high tee. It's kind of a pretty baby cut. Not bad. So I think that one is gonna be trick on that one is gonna be making sure you don't push it out too far into that second clump of trees. Okay, this is looks it's a lot shorter. So I used to play back up that first fairway to the right. Um, the play was usually to just the end of that first fairway, or this is grass right here, depending on the wind. Now, I think with an outwind, this last fairway would be in play, and even without an outwind, I think this we can get on this corner. Yeah, plenty. So this one, at least the drive is a bit more straightforward, and we're gonna have shorter shots into this one than we used to. God. So this is another one like those holes that I hate. This is their new favorite thing to do, it seems like. Um, so we have gotta hit this somehow. Only 41 yards with a 78-yard, 79-yard club with a 16-mile-per-hour outwind. Water in the front, so we can't. I mean, there is a chip play, but it's got to be extremely precise. Just hit and hope shots for me. So I actually executed the shot well and put too much spin on it. So on brand. Okay, so this is going to be in the running for least favorite hole of season two, I think, if it's always short like that. This one I never really figured out season one, but this looks a lot easier. T used to be like right in the middle of these trees, so you had to pick a side and do a big cut. This looks like more of a manageable cut. I'll just move it back to the wind. Hit it a little hard. Yeah, I honestly lost count there. I think it was like, I think par probably was 28, 29. Just detonated on that one. All right, two more. Crank through this. This used to be by far the easiest course. Par was almost always 30, 30 under par. Um, so I'm interested to see. I think it'd be kind of cool if they found a way to make this one of the harder courses now. We'll see. Probably not though. This looks pretty similar to before. Just get it as far down as you can and get a chip. Outwind that's going to be drivable. Give myself a very good look here. Really want to avoid having to hit some like half distance shot like that. They're hard to regulate. If I had been over a little further right, I could have chipped something up. But with that bunker in the middle, I couldn't. I think they've moved us closer to these houses. They used to just hit it over. I believe that's taken away now. So we're gonna have to go around. It's fine, not a big deal. So this one's just basically the same. It's just a different. We're just coming at it from a different direction. Not a lot to this hole. Exactly been steering the hole today. No hole outs. I think I've only pointed one. This hole looks the same. So it's either, depending on the wind and pin, you're either going to go up here, you're going to go over here. With this wind, we're going to go this way. Hole looks identical too. It's kind of disappointing. It's way too hard. Maybe not. Remember, positive where this one was before. Par threes are the hardest to figure out because not a lot of context sometimes. Anyway, this is just get the right distance. This is a big difference. Okay, so we used to be way over here, and we would typically play to here. Um, and then it was a long shot in. Now, you're gonna have the option of playing the fairway. You could play in the sand over here. It's actually what I might do to straighten the wind out. Also, just because I'm kind of curious. Yeah, so sand is definitely a play. It's an option. That's going to be probably pretty wind dependent on what you're going to choose there. This, so now this is significantly longer than it used to be. This used to be like a 5 wood drivable. It's still going to be drivable. At least this one is. And I hit a high 10.5 hard, and I think that's a better chance of. I'm worried about 8.5 driver not clearing that front lip. So we'll see. It's not a bad play. Okay, so in this one, oh, okay. Yeah, this is weird. So this one we used to play from over here, and we could get on that second fairway. I don't know if I'm not positive I can get to that second fairway without an outwind. I don't think I can, and I don't think I can get there in my second shot from this fairway. But I don't think I have a choice. Let's see, find out. Okay, so you can get there with this wind. I could foresee winds that you can't though. Points. That was a clean front, I think. Hmm. It's when I used to drive it from way back here. So you just go over all this stuff. And then the trick was just holding the green because it slopes. It would, from that direction, slope straight down. Now it's going to slope to the left. Should be fine though. This wind is actually going to help us. Just hit it too far left or far right, I mean. Save the chip. That's another one though. With a significant wind in our face, I'm not positive that's always going to be drivable. All right, this one usually it's either you play to this corner here in the fairway, or you play up onto the sand. And I think that is still true. I'm gonna play on the sand. This wind. Oh, it's gotta stop. Uh, Okay. Usually that one was in danger of rolling in the water. It should have been played further to the right. 3 was, I think, back there before. This is not a bad look because you can land kind of in this fat part of the green and let gravity take it forward and left. So you don't have to be super aggressive with this one. That was not far enough right. So Rich, I think, can bail us out one more time. That was rude. Looked in. Okay, one over. Got to find a hole out now. Get back to par. This hole is playing exactly the same as it did before. Thinking, so we used to play from back here, and usually it was you play to where my cursor is now, or outwinds you could get to the second fairway. I think now I can just get there, 'cause even if I land short, I think that hill will kick me forward. Let's try that. So that's fine. Uphill. It's going to take a little distance off. I don't love this. Man, that's too hard. Damn. Works way up the hill here too. Makes it harder chip. No excuse for dropping that one. The second shot was terrible. And this is looks a lot easier than it used to be. So we used to come in from over here, back here somewhere, and that made this green slope right into the water, and we had to worry about that getting on the right tier. Still have to worry about getting on the right tier, but now it's horizontal. My brain is just a little bit easier. Um, so yeah, this look is pretty easy. I'm just gonna let the wind push it left and let the green push it right, and they should kind of cancel each other out. So it's something I'm not seeing. Yep. Need some of those start falling, make up some of these drop shots. One looks pretty much the same. There's a shot that some people play up here in the sand. I never really thought it was that materially better than just playing over here. This one, we're not going to worry about the pin. We're just trying to get on the green. Another foot or two, and that was a lot better than it ended up. Still two over. 17 was a kind of challenging par three before. Now it's a short par three. Sensing a theme here. This look is not terrible. This could be a lot worse. I'm sure it will be a lot worse sometimes. Hmm. Okay, I'm afraid about that one. This hole I used to play from over. Get my bearings here. Oh, it just used to be a little bit closer. So now it's just a longer hole. Same angle. I'm gonna use a high T here and kill some of the spin. Let the wind bring it back to the left. Okay, so that was three. Yeah, so it's 30 still. Didn't see any par changes really. On balance, about the same as it was before, difficulty wise. So Gunnison was, in my opinion, by far the hardest course. There were some holes I thought were just poorly designed. 18 being one of them. Um, so I'm very interested to see what 17, 18 look like on this setup. Okay, one's drivable now. I'm actually gonna take. No, I'm not. Keep my bag. Okay. Two used to be drivable with a 7-degree driver sometimes. That's why I was thinking about switching, but there's no reason to believe that would still be the case. It's definitely wouldn't have been drivable, so it doesn't matter. Let's try this. When you miss those kind of like straight shots at a when you're playing the higher level players, it almost feels like you gave one away, even though it's a 100-yard shot. Those are going in pretty regularly. So you kind of almost feel bad if hole one and two you don't have a hole out. Just feels like you're giving them away. All right. So they've put a rock, or they've moved us behind a rock, but I don't think it's gonna matter. We can move ourselves right far enough to get around it. All we want here is second fairway. This one, let's get aggressive with it. Close. Materially the same shot as it was before. It's a cut. Um, all you're really trying to do here is not undercut it, leave it in the water, and not overcut it too soon and clip this rock. It's not a hard shot, but it is one you can screw up if you're not paying too much attention. So that was pretty poor, but it didn't go in the water. So we got that going for us. Absolute meltdown. Missed the chip, put it in the water, missed the chip again. Solid. Okay, here they've again put an obstacle up close. but it's not going to matter. We just need to cut it a little. That back of the fairway. There we go. Needed that one. Got one back. Two more to go. Okay, there used to be this one you used to play through this channel, and you could curve it onto the green from there. Now it looks like we're going the other way. Definitely still there. Um, Trick is going to be getting enough putt on it without overdoing it. Yeah, so that one I need to work on. It's like a putt. Or let's make a chip though. Didn't go in the water, so I guess we're showing signs of improvement. This one's shorter, so I used to play from the left, and it was like a 5 iron, 4 iron, 7 iron sometimes. We're going for everything now, so okay. So in this one, our second shot, we want to play through this channel. Um, Again, they've pulled the same trick as they've done on the three previous holes where they've just moved us so we have something on our left. Not the most imaginative thing I've ever seen. That's going to be fine. Got to push this right a little bit, but otherwise, straightforward shot. Not the best, not the worst. So three over, three over front, one hole. This one looks almost the same. T used to be a little bit further to the right. Um, it's not a lot to this one. Mhm. That would have been nice. This one's easier now. So this used to be back to the left, and to get to the second fairway, you had to hit like a cut. I mean, it wasn't hard. It wasn't a hard shot before, but now it's a straight shot. All you're looking for here is just don't get behind this stuff. If you're too far down the fairway, you'll block yourself out. But we're fine here. Just gonna push it left, let the wind work for us. Man, that spun hard. So again, we've got our left blockage. So we've got options. We can play to the just play it on the green for this way. We could hit some big swoopy putt, which actually might be what I do here. Or we can move our tee and hit something a little less severe. Maybe that's the play. Let's try that. Okay. Hey, we are almost through this cycle. 5 more holes, 6 more holes. So the play we used to tee box was before it was back here, and you'd back to the right, and you'd go through the gap in the trees and over. Still go through that gap if you wanted to, but I think it's going to be more reliable to just go around the trees from the left. So let's try that. I don't think I need a high tee, but we'll find out. I want the spin, I think. Yeah, we want to be aggressive. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot easier. I don't know if it's easier, but it's maybe a little bit more straightforward shot than it used to be. It's one I never got good at. There's a play through this. There's a play through this little tiny crevice. It's the only way to get there in two. It's just really hard to line it up off the tee. Gonna stop me from trying though. Yeah, a little too far. Usually though, give you a pretty good drop even if you don't, even if you go in the water on this shot. So it's almost always worth it to just go for it. Usually get a good chip. Ping pong. But yeah, you see the chip isn't bad here. This is one you are expecting to make, so if you would have played around, you'd have the same. We'd still be getting birdies. Might as well try it. This one goes down to the right. It looks like they've moved us left a little, so the cut is maybe not as severe. This was always a challenging one. Didn't have a reliable shot on this one. No. But we got around that rock, which is all that matters. 4 over, 2 on the front, missed the gap, and missed that last one. All right, so we can either play this down here or we can play it up on that second fairway. But with the tee box where it is now, it's going to be a lot hard. We're going to be so far back on that second fairway. I don't actually think that's a play anymore. So I think we're just going to try and get it to the end of this. Our 6 wood shouldn't have any issues getting up there. Okay, now 17, 18 were my most despised holes of all Golden Tee 2026. They've made it a looks like they made it a little longer. They've made where were we before? I think we were like up. I feel like just like here. I think that's basically where we were before. So I don't know if it's like really easier. That's the easiest section for the pin to be in. Got lucky there. Don't go in the water. Yep, there we go. Nice thing is I get to try the exact same shot again. 6 over. Started off good. Okay, so they didn't change 18. Um, or at least not in a meaningful way. So it was still a shot where the wind will determine if you can even go for it. Actually, I don't even know if that's true anymore. And there's no clear layup either. I I cannot tell you how much I hate this hole. There's a play off this rock and you can like bounce it. Maybe that's what I'll try. But I never really figured out exactly how that works. Just trying to bounce into that other layer. That was not it. And then with the drop, now we're forced to lay up and then hit a fairly challenging wedge shot. So, all right. That is season 2 Golden Tee. Still some work to do, definitely on Gunnison and Hawk. But yeah, I think basically the order is still the same. I don't think that they changed. I think Alaska got a little easier. Otherwise, I think everything's pretty much what it was. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.